Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Brooksburk Zoo. In the last episode we started with our completely new area, which is going to be the living desert. Yes, of course, it is going to feature all of the new animals that we got from the new Planet Zoo DLC, the Arid Animal Pack. And in the last episode we built for the first animals of the pack, which were the Somali wild ass. We built this nice habitat that you're going to see in a few seconds as the movie camera mode is coming closer. Yeah, here it is. We built this nice habitat for the Somali wild ass. We do have 3 of them already here in the habitat. No babies yet, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be babies pretty soon. As I'm looking at this, I forgot I wanted to build the entrance to the habitat. I wanted to move the entrance to the habitat because we had a few difficulties in the last episode with the entrance gate, and I made a huge mistake and I didn't think about placing it in the right place in this episode, so hopefully I will remember it in the next one. So guys, it would be very nice if you comment this video and remind me to do this so that I don't forget it before the next episode starts. Yeah, but what are we going to do in today's episode? I think I told you guys already that I want to have a habitat for the porcupines. Yes, because I think it's a perfect fit for the entrance area here in the living desert. Because the animals are pretty small and not that much exciting animals, but pretty interesting animals, so that makes a perfect fit for the entrance area to this new area. Yeah, here in Brooksburk Zoo. So I could have made it easy for me to build just a small habitat for these beautiful animals and be ready with it in a few minutes, but you guys know me. I didn't take the easy route. I took the long way and I walked the extra mile again. So what we are going to build today is, first of all, we are going to lay out the size of the habitat for the porcupines, and then we are going to build the desert house. Yes, we are going to have another walkthrough animal house here in Brooksburk Zoo. But it's not going to be that huge of a house. I just wanted to have an indoor section for the porcupines, of course for the sand cat as well, for which we are going to build in one of the next episodes. And there is also going to be a third habitat here in this area and in the inside of this house. And therefore I need you guys. There's going to be a survey on my channel here on YouTube where you guys can once again decide which animal is going to be the third one that is going to move into the desert house. It's not going to be a new animal from the new DLC, as we are going to build for all of these, but it's going to be an older one that we already do have in the game. You guys have 3 options. First option is the meerkat. Second option is going to be the aardvark, and the third option is going to be the fennec fox. Only one of these 3 animals is going to move into the desert house and also getting a nice outdoor habitat here in this area as well. So just move over after you finish to watch this video. That is very important. Just finish to watch this video and then move over to my survey. Vote for your favorite animal that is going to move into the desert house in the next episode maybe, or the episode right after that. Maybe we are going to have 2 animals in the next episode, so that we are going to finish the desert house. I just don't know how complicated I'm going to make it for myself to build in here, so there's at least going to be 1 more episode, maybe 2 episodes, until we finish the desert house. Yeah, I did indeed cut out a little bit right here. I did cut out as I was building the wall for this building, because this is going to move, or no, it's not going to move, it's going to be deleted completely as I'm going to build it anew, because I had some different ideas in my head and I didn't know how to do it, and in the end I figured out I'm going to build the roof first for the building and then having the outside walls. That would make it a little bit more easier for me. So I was going to use these glass pieces here for the first time ever, I think. I can't remember using those glass pieces ever in the game, so I definitely think that it's the first time that I'm using those. I wanted to have something like a round shaped bubbly kind of roof, and I didn't want the house to be that big. That is why I deleted one of the pieces again, and yeah. And once again copying and circling it around to give it a nice shape. I was pretty lucky that the shape turned out so symmetric, as you can see in a few seconds. So I didn't have any weird overlapping, everything was just working out fine, and I couldn't be happier that this worked out like this, because it gives the whole thing a pretty nice shape and structure, and yeah, I really love it. Yeah, here I was a little bit struggling with how to put down the roof and where I wanted it to be, because I want the sandcat habitat to be right on the left here, so that we are going to have something like a little aviary or stuff like that on the left side here, right next to the main path and to the habitat of the Somali wild ass. And so I had to figure out where to put the roof that the habitat for the sandcat is going to be big enough. And that is when I decided to delete the outside wall and just build it anew to make it a little bit easier for me. And as you guys know, when I'm doing this rotation and copy stuff, I often do it piece by piece, so that everything lines up perfectly. It makes it a lot more easier if you have if you have parts on some different levels. So if you're not going to build just flat and circle it around, but if you're going to have some kind of elevation in there in your builds, it makes it easier if you do it like this, as I do it, because as I told you, everything lines up more perfect as if you're doing it as one piece from the beginning. Yeah, I also try to work with some different structures here with those stone pieces and with some wood pieces, stone, wood and glass in the end. And I think it matches the whole theme pretty cool. It looks modern, but I also took some of those concrete pieces that I was using that you can also find in most of the other builds that I did here in this zoo. so that there is somewhat like a little bit of a connection in here. Yeah, but I tried to build in some kind of a modern style in here, because as I told you guys in the last episode, this is a pretty new area, so the zoo, I wanted to say burned everything down here. No, I just don't know the English word for that. But yeah, PS Vision Gaming doesn't know what I mean when I say, yeah, I did it like Miley Cyrus. I came in with a wrecking ball and destroyed everything here in this area and built it completely anew. So that is exactly what happened here in Brooksburk Zoo. Everything was burnt down and built anew. So that's why those parts here in this area are going to look a little bit more modern, not as much as the classical style that we have in the rest of the zoo and that we are going to have in the rest of the zoo. So there's still much room left that we have to build. So after we are finishing the living desert area, we are going to move to the left side of the zoo, where we didn't build anything, where we have to build a huge staff area. That is something that I was planning from the beginning. And yeah, we also have to build the castle that I was talking about in the beginning as well. And I have some ideas what I want to do with the castle and for which animals I'm going to build it. Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you right now. So yeah, you have to catch up with all my videos to see what I'm coming up with when it is time. But I think it's going to take quite some time until we are getting there. Yeah, and maybe I was thinking about some kind of transportation here as well, because the zoo is going to be pretty big, as long as my computer allows me to build it that big. So maybe we have to think about something like, yeah, I don't know if a monorail would be the right thing to have in here. Maybe something like a train station or something. Yeah, you could let me know in the comment section what you think, what kind of transportation in this classic zoo would make sense. But I think the train would be the perfect match. Yeah, but I'm completely open, so if you guys say no, not the train, go with the monorail or go with a river cruise or something like that. If it would make sense and if you guys want to see something like that, then I'm pretty open to do something like that. Just let me know. Yeah, and I also have to say thank you once again, because the videos from the last few weeks are being received pretty greatly by all of you guys. You seem to enjoy my content, you seem to enjoy what I'm building in here, which makes me very, very happy, and the subscriber count goes up and up and up, and I'm very, very happy about that, because that also means seemingly I'm doing something right in here, and yeah, that's pretty cool. So if there is anything you guys want to see me build here in Brooksburk, in Litchfield, or even though in a different series, maybe a classroom part, a new one, or whatever, just let me know in the comments and I'm pretty happy to fulfill your wishes if I'm able to do so. Yeah, here you can see now the roof for our little desert house is finished, and as I told you, it's not going to be that big of a house, but I think we are going to have some challenges in the next episode, which you might see in a few minutes, as this house is not that big and we are going to have 3 indoor areas here as well, and I don't want it to be to look too tight inside of the house, if you know what I mean. So there's going to be a few challenges, but I think we can build something that makes sense in the end and makes it all look realistic and decent as well. I also have to think about a backstage area in there as well. So there's going to be a lot that is going to happen in the next episode. So I hope you guys are excited for that. Here I'm closing up the walls of the building. And in the end, deleting some of the parts again, so that we do have it open right here where our visitors are entering the building. And we're also going to have something similar like this in the next episode for the exit of the building on the other side. To make it a little bit more easier and not having some weird shapes in here, I just moved the house a little bit to close it up right there with the windows. Now it's time to prepare the indoor area for our porcupines. First of all, I was thinking about something like an indoor area with some natural ground in here. So not have something like a concrete floor or stuff like that for the animals. As I'm seeing those those newer buildings in some zoos, and I'm thinking right now about the zoo in Berlin. No, the Tier Park in Berlin, the Jungle House that they did renovate. They have many indoor habitats with a natural, flooring for the animals, which looks pretty nice. And so I was thinking about something like that in here as well. But in the end, I decided no, we have this very, very classical zoo. And we are going to have some concrete floor in here. This is a newer area, yes, of course, it is a modern area, but just keep the classic vibe a little bit, I thought. And it would be much easier, as we are, and we haven't decided it yet still, as we are somewhere in Europe or in North America. And in the winter time, when the animals are inside of the building, it would be much easier if you have some kind of a concrete floor to heaten it up from below. And sometimes I get the question from you guys where I get my inspiration for all these habitats from. And it is pretty easy, as I'm looking, or as I'm visiting many real life zoos. The newest episode is already on my channel. It was out on Saturday, where I was visiting the zoo in Dresden. So if you want to check that out, you can. So that is the first thing. I visit many zoos in real life, so I know how some habitats in those zoos look, and that is where I get a lot of inspiration from. But if I don't know any habitat or don't have a particular habitat in my mind when I'm building these habitats for the animals, I'm Googling. And for all of my German viewers that are watching this, it is often very hard if you use German language if you want to look for a nice habitat for the animals. So my tip for you guys is just use the English words and Google something like porcupine exhibit. Not habitat, because if you Google habitat, you will get very often pictures of their natural environment, which is also pretty cool. But if you want to build something in your zoo for the animals, you should Google porcupine exhibit or aardvark exhibit, and you get nice pictures of those animal enclosures from different zoos from all around the world, and that is where I get my inspiration from. Sometimes I'm combining them, sometimes I'm just having a look for the fencing around the habitat. I like the fencing from this habitat, I like the inside structure of the habitat from that zoo, and then I'm combining things with each other. What I'm not doing is copying habitats of real zoos in my zoo, because I don't have the talent for this. So most of the times I'm using those images just for inspiration, and I'm making my own out of it in the end. Yeah, and I would be really curious if you guys let me know in the comments what inspiration or where do you get your inspiration from when you are building habitats in your zoos. I know some of you get all their inspiration from YouTube videos, watching my videos or watching the videos from other YouTubers as well. But what else do you use to get inspiration for your builds? Yeah, here you can see me looking around and thinking of what I was telling you a few minutes before, that this is going to be very tight in here. So I decided I lay down the path a little bit here in the beginning to prevent myself from building too close or too tight in here, so that you can't move around really, and and getting claustrophobia when you enter the building. That is something that we definitely don't want to have. And here we are already at my favorite part in every Planet Zoo episode, doing the outdoor habitat, doing terrain work, putting down rocks, painting the terrain and putting down plants and stuff like that. I just love that. And that is something that I never plan out. That is something that I always go into and just let it flow. And I also do love the combination of real rocks and those fake rocks in the background, where we did the backdrop with the stalactites that I'm using quite often. Because I just think it looks so cool and so realistic, because this is like many of the habitats in zoos, in real life zoos, do look when they use this fake rock architecture that you see in almost every zoo when they build new habitats. So I think the combination of those two goes very well in the game, especially when you have something like here with the desert structure. You don't have to recolor the fake, those stalactites, because the color scheme matches pretty fine. Well, that is something that I shouldn't say, because you know I'm colorblind, and me talking about a color scheme is yes, some kind of a reach. Yeah, now what I wanted to have in here as well was some kind of a planter, because porcupines are rodents and they also love to live in burrows. So they are they are building burrows, and that means if you have some kind of plant life in there, it's pretty sure, or it is pretty common that those plants would have a very short life in the habitat. So you don't want to have too much of plants in here, because those animals will get rid of everything as they are digging in their habitat here and there, and no plant will survive that. So I decided to have this planter here in the middle of the habitat to give it a nice look. And we definitely are going to have some kind of plants in the habitat as well, but just some kind of shrubbery and bushes here and there, just to make it look a little bit nicer, but not too much of the stuff. And some dry grass as well, for sure. Just some more plants. And the last thing that we are going to do in this episode, after I put down all of the plants, is we are going to build the door for our desert house. Yeah, sure, we're going to have some kind of animal enrichment items in here as well, and feeding trough, and this water pipe, which is going to be on the inside of our habitat, to make sure that the animals are going to use the inside and the outdoor habitat as well. Just some more decoration on the outside. And then we are going to create the door. Yeah, first of all I was thinking if I leave it open just like that, and then I decided no, don't be lazy once again, just have a nice self-made door. And for that I was using those wooden pieces and some of those those smaller metal pieces from the Europe DLC, I guess, which were for the windows to make it look realistic. Yeah, these little ones right here, which are perfect if you are wanting to build a door or something like that. I think I saw that the first time from PS Vision Gaming, as he is using the tiniest pieces that you have in the game and building the most amazing things out of it. Yeah, but I tell you that in almost every episode from Brooksburk Zoo. So yeah, once again, definitely check that out. You don't want to miss that. It is so great to get some inspiration for your own builds. And there we are again with where do you get your inspiration from? Yeah, then I was using those glass pieces that are not see-through from the outside. And I didn't have those pieces in the perfect size, so I decided, doesn't matter, we are going to cover the rest of it with this small wooden pieces here. And yeah, in the end we're having a pretty nice looking door in here, I think. Yeah, and I definitely have to say that it definitely pays off if you take your time, even for those things that you think are not that special or that important, like building some kind of a door. But if you do it, and here you can see, it makes a huge difference. And it just looks so cool if you do that. Here I was using those Indonesian door pieces, which are so great because, you know, before that we were always using some pieces that are not meant to be doorknobs, but we just made it useful. And with these new pieces from the last DLC, the Tropical DLC, yeah, it makes building doors a lot easier. Yeah, but with that being said, we are already at the end of our video. So we finished the porcupine habitat, we finished the indoor area in our desert house. In the next episode, as I told you guys, we are going to build a habitat for the sand cat or any other animal that you are going to vote for. So don't forget to do that. And here you can already see the new sign in the beginning of our new area, the living desert. Okay, so guys, I'm going to leave you with some footage of the new habitat and the animals. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and tune in next Monday when we are going to continue to build in Brooksburk Zoo's The Living Desert. See you then, guys. Bye. Thank you.